Here we go with Sacramental Prep for Teens. Is that what we're calling it? Do you have like a flashy name
No,
for it?
I don't.
Okay.
That's what
we'll
it
brainstorm.
is. We'll brainstorm. Maybe
There
we'll
you
have a
go.
flashy name by the time we're done.
By the time we're done. Okay. In 3, 2, and 1. I'm Deacon Eric.
And I'm Dr. Brett Sockel.
And you're listening to Thinking Faith.
This is a podcast brought to you by the Archdiocese of Regina, where we attempt to navigate this winding road of faith in Jesus Christ so that we might know Him more intimately, love Him more profoundly, and together serve Him more deeply in our daily lives.
Welcome, everyone, to another week of Thinking Faith. I am very blessed to have the wonderful Michelle Braden in the studio with me this morning, or this afternoon, actually.
Yes.
Welcome, Michelle. How are you
Thank you.
doing?
Good. I'm happy to sit in the comfy chair.
Yeah, aren't
and
they
chat
nice?
With you. They're very nice.
You know, you stepped up the game with all of the decor.
Sometimes when you're not recording a podcast, I just come sit in here.
we actually could turn it like studio/prayer chapel.
Yes.
That'd be awesome. Yeah. Just make sure the cameras are off.
That's right.
Yeah. But I invited you in today specifically because you're always a joy to talk with and visit with. So that's always wonderful. But you have a really exciting new initiative coming out of the youth office. That's not just a youth office initiative, but it really can impact a lot of parishes and a lot of young people in the diocese.
Hope.
That's the hope. Developing, at least what it sounds like, a sacramental preparation program geared specifically to teens.
Yes.
And not tied to a specific parish. This is for teens, and at least right now, for the whole area of Regina.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so why? That's the first question.
Okay. Well,
we've got the who.
Yes.
It's you. The why, if we're going through the 5 W's. Yeah.
Well, I mean, for a long time, I have long known that there's a lot of kids in the high schools who, for a wide variety of reasons, just have missed their, making their first communion or being confirmed, or, some were lost in the transition to restored order, and just never caught up. I mean, that was quite a while ago now, but COVID did not help.
Yeah, I was going to say COVID.
Yeah.
We have a lot of families from out of the country.
We have a lot of families from out of the country that
things.
come, and they're coming from countries where traditionally confirmation is done in an older grade. And so they arrive here and it's already been done in grade 2 and 3. So they've missed that window. So for a whole plethora of reasons, there's a whole lot of teens who have not received a lot of their sacraments. And it's difficult, for parishes to prepare them because, parishes are now focused on running it as the restored order program.
Restored order with very young people.
Usually about grade 2 and 3 is sort of the target age group. And so while I have long had this on my heart, it sort of came to a head in the spring when a couple of parish priests messaged me and said, hey, do you think you could do anything? Because we don't want to just put them with the grade 2s, but we don't really have the resources to prepare them on, to run another program.
Yeah.
And if we do prepare them one-on-one, then they have no community.
Yeah, exactly.
And so that's how it started.
Okay.
And so that's why it is, at this point, it's not connected to any one particular parish. It can't stay that way forever. We're going to, by the end of this, I'm sure by June, I'll say, well, I won't do this again, or this again.
Oh, sure.
Because we're figuring it out as we go.
That's the nature of doing piloting new stuff, right?
But right now, I felt it was important to bring them together as a group so that they could have community.
Yeah.
So that's, in my mind, is job one. I want them to meet with other like-minded young people and form some community. I want them to make friends. I want us to have some shared adventures. I don't want this to just be 4 sessions that they check the box and they're done. And then they go back to a parish where they still have potentially no community, and nothing really has changed for them.
Yeah.
So this will be a much longer program than people are accustomed to. So that's the first sort of pushback that we're dealing with, because people keep saying to me, well, how many sessions is it? When will they be done? And I'm like, I don't know. Because really,
it's a journey. It's an adventure.
It is a journey.
Yeah.
And you need to almost think of it, I'm almost thinking of it as like a youth group with a very particular catechetical focus, for that piece of things. But we're also going to do lots of team building. We're going to eat together. We're going to have games. There'll be a lot of building of community, especially in the beginning. So it's going to start in January and it'll go to June. And my thought is
that's
by the end,
really that long.
Well, once a month too, and it's not once a week; it's once a month.
Yeah, once a month.
So it's not that long.
Yeah.
And at the end of June, we will then evaluate where everybody is at, because as people are signing up, we have a large number of the young folks that are signing up that aren't even baptized. So we have kids that need, young adults that need baptism, some that need Eucharist, that need reconciliation, that need confirmation. So some of them need all of it. Some of them need just confirmation. Some of them need just reconciliation. And everything in between.
It sounds like an awful lot like what parishes run into in an adult RCIA program.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's exactly
the same scope that you're dealing with.
So our hope is that by the end of June, we've got a really well-formed community of young people that can journey together. And then we will make plans for the fall. In the fall, we'll make plans to see to start implementing, getting those baptized that need to be baptized. And so the hope is that we would all journey together so that we all learn about baptism. And then those that need to be baptized will baptize, and we'll be there to celebrate with them. Yeah. And then we will all learn about reconciliation, and we'll all go to reconciliation together. And then we'll all learn about Eucharist. And then those that need to make their first Eucharist will do so, and we'll all celebrate together.
Yeah.
And so that is the hope, which is, I know, kind of a different approach. Normally, once they're of that age, you sort of do it all at once.
Yeah.
And perhaps that is the way to do it. Maybe next year I'll think differently. But right now, I just feel like we need to concentrate on one piece at a time. And sort of have the opportunity to celebrate together along the way instead of leaving it all for the end.
Yeah. It makes sense because...
when my brain it does.
Yeah. I mean, for a lot of these young people, the experience of baptism, for example, there's a lot there.
Yeah.
And that in and of itself can be an overwhelming experience, both from the senses, the emotional experience, right?
Yeah.
The processing of the information and just the experience that's going on. And that too. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. So we're going to use the UCAT program. I don't know, are you familiar with UCAT? Yeah. So UCAT has a confirmation program. They have a reconciliation program. They have so UCAT is the catechism of the Catholic Church for young people. For young people in a very simple question and answer form. And so my hope is that we'll give everybody a copy of the UCAT, a copy of the DUCAT, which is the social justice teachings of the Church in easy question and answer format. And then we will use the UCAT confirmation program. So it'll kind of all work together.
Interesting.
And
so much more like, this is much more of a intentional formation process than simply immediate preparations for sacraments.
Yes.
Like oftentimes in a parish circumstance, your primary concern is what is the immediate need for celebrating this sacrament?
Yes.
And you're hoping that there will be ongoing formation in the relationship with
Yes.
the family and the parish,
Yeah.
and within the family and with the school, right? Those kinds of things.
But that is just not the reality that
It
we're
isn't.
necessarily dealing with.
Yeah.
That all works super well if it's families who are in the parish and grounded in the parish and have relationships there. And we might even have some of those kids as well. But chances are, if they're really grounded in a parish and have been there for a while, that they haven't fallen behind in their sacraments, right? So the fact that they haven't made these sacraments says that there's been challenges of some description, maybe just logistical, maybe family, maybe it's not something that the family has valued up to this point, and it's something that the young person is seeking on their own. So there's a whole bunch of possibilities.
That was a question I was going to ask is what kind of mechanisms are in place? Because I've run across those situations where a young person approaches desiring baptism and it's not something that's taking place within their family at all. Religion isn't part of the family, usual family routine and stuff. So, so how do you navigate that?
Well, I don't know. So first of all, we get to know the young people and their circumstance and their families, and we'll see. And then if that is the circumstance, then of course we will reach out to the parents and chat with them and get to know them and see how, if they are under 18, we're going to need their permission for this anyways. But we would like, so if they are completely against it, chances are that it's not happening. But we would like to include them if it's important to their young person. In my experience, if it's important to the young person, whether it's been part of the parent's journey or not, it's important to the parent. Yeah. Because they want what, their child feels they need and desire. So I've never had a parent that really put up a roadblock.
No, I've not either. Usually in my experience in the parish, it was often parents who were very excited about this for their child. But then also kind of like a deer in the headlights. I don't have a clue where to start with this. Can you please help me? Absolutely.
There is a plan.
As you're looking at it all and it's starting to
we currently have about 25 kids on the list.
Okay, amazing.
So who actually in the end shows up, I guess we'll see. If it's like any other event I've ever run, half of those will not show up, but another half will show up that have not registered. So I'm expecting probably about 20 to 25 is where we'll land.
That's not a bad starting place for something brand new like that.
I wouldn't want a lot more. But you want enough that there's a group dynamic too. And then I have about 10 young adults that are going to run the program with me. And journey with the young people.
I was going to ask, how do you have any sense of how you're going to navigate godparents or sponsors, depending on the needs and stuff?
Well, not yet. Some once I know who needs what sacraments and where, it'll take me, I think, a couple sessions to actually get that nailed down. Then we'll take it from there. They may very well have someone in their family that they would like to ask. And if not, then I think it won't be difficult for us to find people.
I was just imagining that, oftentimes if it's in a parish format, they have immediate family members of some form that serve in that capacity. I know with the adult RCIA process, especially this, the last couple of years, at Christ the King, one of the things they've been doing is not really matching with sponsors right away, but having candidates and sponsors together from the start. And then developing relationships
and see what fits.
See what fits, right? That kind of thing. So I was just curious what that was.
Because I also, so the other dynamic that is happening kind of organically that was not really a planned part of it is that a priest that is a wonderful supporter of youth ministry. He must call me at least once a week and say, I got another one. And one of the things that's happening is he's finding young people who actually do have their sacraments and are faithful, but have nowhere to belong. They have no community. So now he has somewhere, quote unquote, to send them. And so we have some of those young people coming too, just to be part of the community. And so I think that, probably organically some of those folks will end up serving as sponsors.
Certainly a possibility there. That would be really neat to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. And so what I've told parishes, because they are coming from all over, is this. I've said, you can send us, you can refer to us, any young person you want. You can just send them. However, if you send nobody from your parish to journey with them, no adult to journey with them, I can't guarantee that I'm going to anchor them back to your parish.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to send them back to parish X,
where they've got no place to be.
Where nobody even knows that they are doing this or that they're preparing, and they don't know. So if you can, so once I know what parishes people are anchored to, or could be anchored to, then I will, if there isn't already adults from that parish working with us, then I'll reach out to the priest and see if we can get some.
Very good.
And then as they journey, they will also, because I did this whole bingo card too. I have this whole bingo card that we'll work on as we go that is meant to anchor them to the parish. And go to a pancake breakfast, introduce yourself to the priest. There's all of these things that they can do as part of this group, but also within their parish.
I love that.
Yeah. And so I don't know what point we'll introduce the bingo card. I feel like once the group is established, we'll break into small groups. And then I think that we will look at the card each month and choose one or two things that we're going to try and check off. So if they did it all, they would have a very well-rounded experience. But I mean, the chances of it all happening are slim, but still there's a wide variety.
And at the very least, something like that opens their eyes to the possibility and begins that kind of process of imagining a Christian life lived within a particular community.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is, that's kind of an essential part about the Christian life.
Yeah. So anyway, if a young person is sent to us, referred to us by a parish, but nobody from that parish is able to journey with them, then chances are high I will connect them to a different parish. Yeah. So that they have people to journey with them.
Mm-hmm. So it sounds like you're looking at developing, you're talking about having adults accompany them from parishes.
Yes.
So you're looking at a mentorship type model.
Ideally.
Kind of been built into that, which is something you've been talking about for quite some time.
Yeah, a couple decades.
Yeah, a couple decades.
So that would be ideal. We had a couple and then they fell through. So I don't know I'm not sure what happened, but so we have young adults. We have adults that are going to journey with. Mm-hmm. I have to sit and look at those young adults and see what parishes they're connected to. But my suspicion is it's a couple of parishes.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. If we don't get other adults from other parishes, then probably most of the kids will get funneled through these parishes. And maybe that's okay for the first time.
Yeah.
Round.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
are you open, if any of our viewers or listeners are they're hearing this and thinking, well, that would be kind of an interesting experience?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. As long as they are willing to come with an open mind.
Yeah.
Because this is not going to look like any other
sacrament
program that you have been a part of. And I just need people who love Jesus and love kids. And and the rest we will figure out.
Pretty good. And figure out together, it sounds like too.
Yeah.
Which is kind of an interesting and exciting
prospect. We have a basic, program. We have, we're going to meet the first Sunday of every month. We're connecting it to Source, which already happens.
Very cool. Yeah.
So Source is an evening for teens that happens the first Sunday of every month at various parishes in the city, and there is supper and a talk and games, and then an hour of adoration and reconciliation, and then they have dessert together afterwards. And so we are going to hold it from 4 till 6 the first Sunday of each month, wherever Source is happening.
Whatever Source. So then they can just go plug right into the Source
if they so
event
chose.
if they're wanting to.
Yeah, if they wanted to. At a minimum, they could stay for supper.
Yeah.
And have supper with but at a minimum, even if they don't stay, there's going to be a great energy because there's going to be a lot of young people hanging around and on the premises. And they will have the opportunity to see the young church in a light that maybe they haven't seen it up to this point.
Plugging them into something that's already happening.
Yes.
I like that too.
And then as they become comfortable, they are welcome to stay for Source and become part of that if they wish. But it would not be you have to, you must.
Yeah.
Yeah. It would just be an invitation.
Very cool. So what then, you've talked about a few times that this isn't going to be your normal like sacramental program and stuff.
Yeah.
What could people expect? If they show up, they show up on their first night or third night, or
so for the first couple times, I think we're just going to really focus on getting to know each other.
Yeah.
And getting, a sense of who they are and what their needs are.
Okay.
So I'm hoping by the third session to know if they are associated with a parish or if I need to find one.
Yeah.
If they might have adults that journey with them, or if I need to find those. What sacraments they in fact are desiring to prepare for. So I think it'll take us a couple of gatherings to sort of sort all that out. And then after that, so for the first couple sessions, I think there'll be an emphasis on icebreaker games, getting to know each other. I'm going to use a few of the Alpha resources for the first couple of sessions. Like really, we're going to start at the very beginning. Who is Jesus and why does it matter?
Yeah.
And so we'll start there for the first 2-3 sessions. And then I would say by the time we get into the fourth session, we should have a sense of who is going to continue to journey with us, what resources we have needed. We'll put those into place.
Yeah.
And then we can begin more in earnest the actual preparation. But I want there to be a fun element every time. Like we're there for 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
I want there to be a community building element each time. And then much like a youth group, we'll take field trips, that we'll invite them to. Like, I mean, they can come to camp, or they can, maybe we'll just meet on a Sunday in Wascana and play ultimate Frisbee before we go. Or like, just opportunities to just be together in different contexts as well. So,
very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just kind of that sense of Jesus showing up wherever we happen to be together.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And in those kinds of activities and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we do not understand sometimes the importance of that piece of it. It's not a bonus.
No.
It's not like even like the rally, when we look at the rally and adoration that happens on the Saturday night and all of that. I mean, if you tried to enter into that prayer experience as soon as kids came in the morning, it would not fly.
Yeah.
Because you need time for people to feel safe and to build trust and to have some understanding and to feel comfortable and all of those things. So, when we're introducing opportunities for encounter, that groundwork is not extra fluff.
No, that's exactly,
it's very important.
We've had that struggle this year in our lay formation program.
Yeah.
It's a bigger group.
Yeah.
And a younger group.
Yeah.
With lots of stuff going on.
Yeah.
They're doing really good showing up for like the class stuff.
Yeah.
But to try to impress upon them that actually formation in Christ in discipleship is not just about like learning stuff from somebody staying at the front of the class, but it's what happens over meal times. It's, in January, our weekend, we stay later and we have like a board game night and stuff. Everyone brings their favorite games and stuff like that. It's the prayer time that we spend together, right? All of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I think that sometimes is difficult for people to wrap their minds around, that it isn't, like you said, this isn't just fluff. This is actually where Christ happens most specifically and most normally in our days, right? Yeah. So if you can't meet him here, then whatever we teach you in a class,
it becomes more difficult to meet him there.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, I don't know. So I feel like maybe I'm sitting here saying everything's a definite maybe.
A definite maybe?
I swear there is a plan, but there's at this point so many unknowns that I can't. Like I have a plan for A, B, C, D, and E, but I just don't know which plan is going to be activated yet.
And part of that is once it gets moving.
Yeah, until
right?
we see who we have. And
I think that's honestly, I think for something like that, and because it's brand new, I think it's essential to walk into it with some flexibility in mind, right? And just be able to kind of pivot as the group dynamics and those relationships seem to suggest, right?
It'll depend on some ages too, because like high school, like 14, the needs of 14-year-olds and the needs of 18-year-olds are going to be different.
Yeah.
Right. So we have to sort of see what the breakdown is as
well.
Yeah,
that'll be interesting too.
Like if I only have 2 18-year-olds, then I need to bring in some other folks,
some additional
folks, so that we can so they can have some peers, right?
To connect with.
Yeah, so I am excited about it. I am when I was asked to do it, I said, "Okay, I'll do it, but I will not be rushed."
Good for you.
Because I want this to be a process and not a. And I'm not suggesting there's anything wrong within the parishes that we have 5, because you have a very specific target. You're doing a very specific thing, working towards a very specific date. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. But I feel like that model, especially with our teens who don't have an anchor in parishes really like for community, I feel like that model is not going to serve them well. Yeah.
Especially making those long-term connections, right? Yeah. This is something that even with adults, we know at the end of an RCIA type process, if they haven't made personal connections with individuals within the community and engaged and integrated with the wider community before the end of that process, chances are that you may not see them very often after Easter.
Yeah.
Right. But on the flip side, when you make the effort to build those connections and relationships and integrate within the parish community itself, the return rates like go through the roof.
Yes.
Right. Because it's a different kind of thing. I'm not showing up just because I was baptized and confirmed at Easter, so I need to be here.
Yeah.
These are my people.
That's right.
Right. Yeah. And that just changes everything.
Yes. That's exactly. You hit it on the head. That's what we need to offer these young people is the opportunity to belong.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that might have to be sort of figured out organically. It might not be where we think they're going to plug in, it's, maybe they came from this place, but now they've really connected with these 3 people who are at this place.
Yeah.
And I think as parishes, we need to welcome them, but we also need to let them go.
Yeah.
If we cannot offer them right in this moment in time what their heart needs, if they need to be with other young people and we just don't have that right now
in our community,
then I don't think we get to sacrifice that young person just to say they were ours.
So we have a young person in our community that we could all embrace.
I mean, let's face it. I mean, the way young adults and teens move nowadays.
I was just going to say that. That's the reality
they'll be back
anyways.
And they'll bring friends is the reality.
Yeah. That's right. And I mean, life just in general, from the late teens all the way through to like mid adulthood, people are in so much transition and flux now, right? It is generally not the norm that you are, for example, going to get married and your kids are going to have all of their sacraments in the church you grew up in.
Yeah.
Right? That's just not going to happen, right? Young people are going to leave high school. They're going to go and discover new community, new church when they go to post-secondary.
Yeah.
They're going to come someplace else, right? Yeah. And develop that. Part of what we're doing is we're teaching them skills to develop Christian community where they happen to be.
Yes.
In that place too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I also like the model of like, when they do come back, they bring their families, their friends with them.
They
right?
do.
And
they do. Yeah. Yeah. I think I told this story last year. I don't think it was on this podcast though, but I mean, my gen has been happening now since 2012. So for 14 years. And last year we had 3 couples that were there volunteering, young adults that with new babies.
Yeah.
And they were part of registration team and like they were running all the things and passed the baby and everybody's holding the baby. And those folks were like the early MyGen kids.
The early MyGen kids. Yeah.
Right. And now they're back and
bringing their babies.
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah, I love it too. And, it's just it's a community that they can come home to as well.
Oh, that's terrific. Was there anything else that you wanted to tell people about it that you're excited for them to know?
Yeah. Well, I think that, if you know any young people that could benefit from it in your life, encourage them to come. They don't have to sign on the line. Nothing's, come for a couple times and then decide how you feel about it.
Yeah.
Right. I know it's hard to commit to because it's very, like, there isn't really an end time at this point.
Yeah.
But just come and join us and have some fun and learn some things. And then we will evaluate if we can be of service to you after that.
That's terrific. Yeah. Okay. And so what are the best ways for people to get in touch with you? I think just
to email us here at the diocese, the Office of Youth and Young Adult Ministry. There is, if you go to the on the Archdiocesan webpage, the Office of Youth and Young Adult Ministry, there's a page dedicated to it.
There is.
With all the information and the contact info.
Yeah.
In the high schools, the chaplains all know. They all have
perfect.
There's a poster with a QR code.
Yeah.
The QR code.
YQR is our airport designation.
YQR is our airport. Oh, man. With a QR code. And the chaplains are all familiar with it.
Okay.
So
awesome.
Hopefully most of the priests and parishes should be familiar with it, but I'm realizing that that's not necessarily the case. They've got a lot of things, a lot of programs. Too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll
put the contact information in the description of the podcast too.
Yes.
And that so people can see that as well.
So we did say by December 20th, ideally, because our first session is going to start January 4th. But the reality is, if it's after that, it's after that. And but the first one will be January 4th at St. Cecilia Parish at 4:00. Till 6:00, and then there would be an optional supper that they would be
okay. So even for that, go check it out for the first night and see what's up. Yeah.
So
not have to make dinner.
Yeah.
So that's always sweet. Yeah.
That's right.
All right.
So anyways.
Well, thank you so much. I'm so happy that we were able to chat today about this. And I'm really, honestly, really excited about the possibilities of something like this.
I am too. In my heart of heart, I think this has been a decade coming.
Yeah.
I just didn't know how to get it there. So, and maybe I still am not 100% sure how we're going to get it there. But I feel like we're on the road and I think there's lots of possibility.
Yeah. Yeah. And honestly, sometimes you just got to jump.
Yeah.
And see what's going to happen.
Yeah. See who catches us.
That's right. Terrific. Well, we want to thank all of you for joining us this week on Thinking Faith. As I mentioned, we are going to put the contact information in the podcast description. And maybe actually our producer, Braden, who is with the Office of Youth and Young Adult Ministry.
You could come and meet the producer of this podcast.
You could come meet the producer of the podcast, and we can get him to even slap that QR code somewhere on the screen here.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
That'd be great. Yeah, that's a thing people do nowadays.
Okay,
so,
there we are.
All right. As always, we pray that God may bless you and those you love with a faith that is always seeking understanding. And Saints Thomas Aquinas and Ignatius of Loyola, pray for us. Amen.
Amen.